The Game Awards nominations came out, and Expedition 33 was nominated for 12 nominations, the most ever collected by a single game in the entire history of the event. And this makes total sense, because the game was phenomenal. It's been nominated for Game of the Year, Best Direction, Best Narrative, Best Art Direction, Best Score and Music, Best Audio, Best Independent Game, Best Debut Independent Game, Best RPG, and 3 of the actors have been nominated for Best Performance, being Ben Starr, Charlie Cox, and Jennifer English. And I played through this game earlier this year, and like many others did, and I just wanted to share my experiences with the game. And, well, I mean, if you're looking for the quick review, yeah, it was that good. But let's get into some of the specifics, okay? Today is the first day of the Gommage. We're introduced to the main character, Gustav, who's delaying the inevitable meetup of his ex, Sophie, who's going to be Gommaging today. And after some back and forth with his sister Maëlle, you're introduced to the city of Lumiere and the denizens within before you actually learn what the Gommage is. And heads up, while this is a spoiler-free review, as all of my videos are, we're going to talk about the basics here, okay? So this is going to be the stuff that you'd see on the box art or maybe in a game trailer. We're not going to talk about any of the story. We're not going to talk about any of the decisions or any of the things that come up throughout the game while you're playing it, because this is the type of game that you just need to play from start to finish to get that full experience. It's incredibly important that you come into this as unknowing to things as you possibly can. But I wanted to throw that out there just in case somebody was about to click that X thinking that I'm going to blow everything. I just wanted to give you that kind of heads up, okay? We're good? Everyone's good? We're good. Okay. So you find out that the Gommage is when the paintress appears and reduces this giant number that's in the sky by 1, which ultimately erases everyone of an age older than that number. And so that means that every year that passes, the people of Lumiere live less and less of a life before they're finally erased from the world. And it's about this time, too, that you realize that there's a group of people known as expeditioners that head out and they go into this fractured world to try and inevitably meet up with the paintress and take her out, eliminating this cycle that you found yourself in. The only problem is that 77 other teams before you have tried and failed. And with somebody like Charlie Cox on your team, Daredevil?
I'm a really good lawyer.
Come on. You've got this. I've said it countless times throughout my streams of the game that it is incredibly difficult to find something about this game that I didn't like. And I'm going to start this whole thing off with the one thing that I actually did wish that they had done, and that was that I wish that they had put a mini-map in the game. Countless times I was lost in the world trying to figure out where I needed to go, and while the world is gorgeous, sometimes it got a little bit tedious trying to figure out where it was, if it was a left turn or a right turn, or which direction I needed to go in order to actually get to where I needed to. And I really need to emphasize this. This feels like such a nitpick. It's not like as if I was struggling with this, but it would have just given enough information to prevent me from making a second, a third, a fourth lap sometimes around these maps. It would have been just a nice to have. And I know the crew at Sandfall is on the record of saying the reason why there was no mini-map is they wanted you to explore and really get involved with the environment, the level design, and I absolutely understand that. I get that because it makes total sense. It would have just been nice to be able even to pull a map from your pack where you could stop and take a look and be like, yeah, we're on the right track, we got to keep going. Or even better, we found this path back there that we missed, we should go back and figure that out. Because there was also times where I pushed forward not knowing that that was where the story was going to continue, and it locks things down for you so that you can't go back until after events take place. So it would have been nice to be able to see that and kind of decide that. Again, a very, very, very low level nitpick. This is not something that is game breaking in any way, shape, or form. But with that out of the way, why don't we talk about the world and the level design? This is some of the most creative and atmospheric level design that I've ever seen in a video game to date. The team was absolutely masterful in their ability to create these locations that belong to the shattered world, and honestly, oftentimes I would just enter a new space and pan the camera around, just looking at everything and taking it in. I would go through this space and make sure that I went through every single inch of the level because there wasn't a single bit of it that I wanted to miss. It's gorgeous. It's got this life and character. It feels like it's alive, right? I was constantly floored by the beauty in the environment. And the maps were created in a way that there's typically an obvious path forward, and then many like offshoots from that where you can go out and you can explore. It's just in order to get the entire environment to consume all of that space, I was constantly going off of the standard path and into a direction that the game isn't telling you to go to, but obviously makes it clear that that's a space for you to go and visit with. This was a masterclass. This is exactly how game design should be. If you're going to have a current day RPG or JRPG or anything like that, this is what it takes in order to create that immersive environment. And they nailed it. They nailed it in every possible way. It was fantastic. The characters in the game are also incredibly well done. The backgrounds are fleshed out. Each one comes with their own play style and their full-on story, and they come with baggage and their personality, and it creates a scenario where you want to play through the game now multiple times just to see what it was like from another character's perspective, to see how they would have interacted with this, or to see how that fight would have been with that specific character in the fight. It was masterfully done. Again, you're going to hear me saying that a lot because truth to be told, that is exactly what this game is. Not only that, but I won't go into the specifics about each character because that's kind of getting a little bit close to spoiler territory, but I will say that Charlie Cox as Gustav just delivers this unbelievable, masterful performance. He was so phenomenal that you kind of just start feeling like you've known him forever, right? Like you're playing the game and you're just like, oh Gustav, right? Like those spots in the game are just, they hit like a gut punch. You get the highs and you get the lows. You get all these moments with these characters that it's so hard to explain, but just phenomenally well done. And I don't mean to overshadow the other characters, of course. You've got Jennifer English as Mael. Is absolute perfect anchor to the main character. You know, she's got that young and bubbly attitude. She's you know, ready to go out on this adventure, and you see that over time slowly start to harden, and that character arc starts to develop and change, and it's almost like we're growing with the character in real time. And this happens like again and again. It's like these moments where you just full on connect with the characters. You feel those highs and the lows. There's moments of absolute despair, and you're just sitting there with a controller in your hand, and you've got cold sweats, and the anxiety is starting to take over, and you realize that, wait a second, this is just a game. That's maybe a little exaggerated, but still, it is just like as if you are able to connect. You put your hooks into these characters and you just full on connect with them. And the myriad of characters that you get in the game, it's just, again, it's incredibly well done. I would be absolutely remiss if we didn't speak about the music, because honestly, this has to be one of my absolute favorite parts of the game. And seriously, I will listen to the soundtrack in my vehicle driving to work. It just randomly. Sometimes I'll be, you know, doing dishes, and the Lumiere song will just pop into my head. I'm listening to it as I write the words that I'm currently speaking to you. While I'm saying them, I'm hearing them in my head. It's haunting. It's beautiful. It's melancholy. It's happy. It's just, everything about it is masterful. The composer Lorien Testard had never worked on a video game before, and the game director found him on SoundCloud, right? Like, just take a minute to sit with that, right? This person is creating music and putting it up onto SoundCloud, and now if we fast forward a few months, the game has released and this person has been nominated for some of the biggest awards in gaming thanks to his contributions to the game. And those contributions, by the way, are 154 songs, just over 8 hours of music to make this soundtrack. And I looked it up as I was writing the script for this video. The track Lumiere, just on its own, just that one track, has over 27 million streams at the time of this recording. In November 2025, that song has been streamed 27 million times just on Spotify. That doesn't count YouTube and all the other areas that you can get this song. It's incredibly difficult to understate how perfect and masterful this soundtrack is. It's seriously, I want to say it may be my absolute favorite soundtrack to a video game of all time. It is literally perfect in every possible way. That soundtrack sets the stage for every single scene in the game. It gets you hyped, it makes you sad, it gets you involved with the characters. It does everything a video game soundtrack should do. And honestly, people should be studying this soundtrack for future games, because that is truly the story with Expedition 33, is that this is now the mold for JRPGs going forward. If you're going to make a turn-based game in this current day and age, and Square Enix, I hope you're listening, Final Fantasy, it needs this wake-up call. This is what you do. If you want to create a successful game, this is what you do. You take what they did with Clair Obscur, you take what Sandfall did with Clair Obscur, and you carbon copy that and stick it into any other game. It requires the same amount of work and effort, but I tell you, this is now the watermark for the best game in this genre. And we haven't even talked about how the game plays. We're just talking about the basic stuff at this point. The combat and the gameplay loop is just, it's phenomenal. I was seriously concerned about this part of the game because I'm not good at action-based gameplay. If I have to time out parries and blocks, I usually get crushed when it comes to this kind of stuff. And so when I heard that this was the center point of the gameplay, I have to admit I was a little bit disappointed. I was going to still try the game, but I was setting myself up for disappointment because I'm typically not good at those types of games. I was excited about it being turn-based and hopefully the return to the good old days of JRPGs and the Final Fantasies. And regardless of my fear of those action-based gameplay tactics, I jumped in and I started getting really good at it. I won't say I was the best at it by any means, but I really started to get and understand how the combat works in this game, because by the end of the game, I was rewatching. I'll put some of the clips up on the screen here. I'm watching myself do the parries and the attacks and some of the things that you do in the game, and I was just getting it. It was just like it just started happening, right? It's addictive. The fights were addictive. And it was like they found the right balance between making the fight difficult and making it fun. And every time that we had a combat, I felt like I had actually achieved something. And the best part is right when you figure that you've got things figured out, that you've got things and you're like, yep, I've got this timing down, no problem. You get into the next fight and the combat throws everything on its head, and you realize that this game is constantly going to be changing things as you go forward. Truthfully, that was my motto throughout this game. Every single time you figure that the game, you've got this game's number, you're like, yeah, okay, I understand what's going on. Boom, it just hits you in the gut and you tumble. And you start again and you rebuild back up and you get back into that comfort spot, and that's when it knocks you. It was, the timing of it was perfect. Every single time you started to get too comfortable with the game, it's like it did something to switch things up on you and make it different again. I hate to keep saying it, but honestly, it's masterful. This is the type of game design that needs to exist in gaming today. You start doing the combat and the gameplay instinctually. It's like as if you've always done it this way. It just fits. And it's done so well that even someone like me, a complete novice with action type games will have no problems getting through it. It's gonna be frustrating sometimes. There's gonna be times where you're going to say that that's too difficult, but you'll come back and you'll come back and you'll come back, and eventually you will get through it, because the payoff of winning feels so unreal good that it just seems to balance it out. I walked off one time. There was one battle where I walked off and I needed to take a couple minutes of a break, and I had come back a couple minutes later and I had completed it at that point. Those things happen, and it's still fun. It's still fun. There's items for your characters, and there's skills, and there's powers that you can unlock, and you can customize your character attacks. You can customize the way that they play. I'd obviously recommend you to spend some time learning each one of the characters. You're going to get this whole cast of people to choose from. Every one of them's fantastic. They all play different. It's going to be the way that you're going to replay this game again and again and again. To sum everything up, the entire experience is just too difficult to put into a single video. Honestly, this is a masterpiece of a video game. I would struggle to even call it a video game at this point. Truthfully, it is an experience. It's something that every single gamer should experience in their lifespan of playing these games. You know those games that people will tell you, they'll point to something, they'll send you a link, and they'll say, listen, you have to play this game. This game is crucial to the world of gaming. This is it. This is the game. It's the best game that I've had in my hands in years. And you can tell that the entire team, every single person that was involved with this game, had such a fun time, that they were just all so passionate about this game. You can see it in every single aspect of this game. Honestly, it's just perfect. What an amazing game. And I wish the best of luck to Sandfall in the Game Awards. This is hands down my pick of Game of the Year. In my opinion, there isn't even a single game that even comes close to Clair Obscure's Expedition 33 on the list. It should be a shoo-in. This is hands down the best game that we've seen, not only in 2025, but honestly in a very, very long time. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, do me a solid and do the like and subscribe thing. It really does help the channel. I stream these games here on YouTube. I also stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/DGOnline. You can head over to the channel, come say hi, let me know that you found this video, what you thought, and yeah, come say hi sometime. I'd appreciate that. Until then, when one falls, we continue. For those who come after. We'll see you on the next one.